world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
One. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Nate Dogg stream. I'm joined here with Colson, my fellow C3 caster, one who's been carrying my esports league all season long, being there every week. Absolute legend. How you doing tonight, man?
Doing good. I appreciate the shout out, but C3 has been grateful enough to have me every week, and I'm a personality and a half. So I've definitely caused Nate a little bit of headaches with my bias towards certain teams in that league. Um, but it's been good fun. I'm excited for tonight. We have a couple of crazy games. I have no idea how you even got these. I mean, you told me, but it's still mind boggling to me. We have a couple of crazy games coming up. You guys can see it on the screen. We have USC versus ERAU, and then we have UNC Charlotte versus Florida. Personally, I'm excited for ERAU and the Gamecocks. I think that will be my game of the night, but hopefully the Charlotte and Florida game surprises me.
I know it should be a great night with all four of these teams being in contention for the top four positions in NECC for their current standings. USC and ERAU as the first and second seed. Then the next match with Charlotte and the Gators being the third and fourth seed. So I know both these teams are going to be wanting to clear out and get a better playoff position as we close up week 6 here and head into week 7. But I'm curious to see how these teams kind of combat each other. They haven't really played before. I mean, USC just came off of that tragic loss to Charlotte, so I wonder if they're going to be bounced back into the in NECC this one. Um, but all I know is that these teams are very, very good. They have a lot of strong players. I know Florida has Hammy Crackers. USC has Og. Charlotte with Bala. Then ERU they have. Let me check their roster real quick. I don't remember off the top of my head, but to my knowledge, they have a very strong team as well. I mean, they have Ian on their team as well, who's also been known to be a pretty strong player in the community. So I want to see how this one plays out. I'm excited to see it. I'm very fortunate to have gotten these games. Just kind of pinged it out in my Discord, and they hit me up, and I was like, all right, bet, dude, let's get some good games on stream today. But I think it's gonna be a great night. I mean, just jumping straight into the current standings and stuff for NECC. I mean, USC is currently undefeated. ERAU going 4-1. Then both Charlotte and Florida being 3-2, the exact same win percentages and everything. So it's gonna be a kind of a race for the end of the season. I feel like.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, speaking of the Charlotte and South Carolina game that we saw the other day, it was, I think South Carolina was the number 30 team going into that one and were rated higher than the UNC Charlotte team, who I think was 47. Nate, correct me if I'm wrong.
That is correct. Yes.
Um, I thought it was going to be a lot closer than it was, and it ended up being a 3-1 by the Charlotte team. And I think that speaks volumes to the quality of these teams that if anyone is on their game or if anyone is off their game even slightly, like you said, it's top four teams, and they are going to be able to bring their A game. And even though they're ranked number 4 against a higher rated opponent, they could still take that easily as long as they are on top of their game. Like you said, I think Bala is going to be the difference maker in the Charlotte series against Florida, and I think Og is going to be the difference maker against ERAU. Ian, I haven't seen much of, but I have heard of the ERAU Eagles, and I've heard that they are a pretty good team, a very strong team at that. So I'm hopeful that they can shock me and wow me, if you will. Be my first foray into seeing them play, and hope that they give us a banging of a series. But again, I'm gonna have to stick to my earlier prediction, which is South Carolina and UNC Charlotte. I'm gonna have some favoritism from the C3 league.
I'm right there with you. I know both of these teams. Some people say the Gamecocks had a little bit of a Mickey Mouse CRL bracket that got them that 30th position, but they did take down Indiana Tech, who was currently on a downfall, absolute crash of play on their end. I don't know what was going on with them, but then USC lost in the grands to, I think it was it Ball State? Was it Ball State? I don't remember off the top of my head. But they made a run nonetheless. Whether they dropped down the lowers, they had to run through all these teams again. They made the run. Some people say it was an easy run, but eventually you're gonna face all the powerhouses in the lowers. So um maybe they deserved it. Maybe Charlotte was just an off game for them. So I want to see if they can bounce it back. I know they play Charlotte next week in NECC in week 7 to finish things off. 2 season-ending matches against Charlotte. Should be a pretty interesting one. Oh, but it doesn't really matter for C3. They qualified for C3. They're in it. Just like how NC State inched by. Had to throw that
Hey,
one in.
chill, chill, chill.
Um, the neat dog. They're asking me about what
Yeah,
my Twitch is.
who the players?
Yeah, let
That's so
me
funny.
let me go in here and get my link for him real quick.
I'll talk a little bit about that sneak diss that Nate just put onto my my wolf pack. Um, we did sneak in. We had an absolute luck, no skill really involved. Uh, Elon lost, and I can't remember who the other team was. That whole night, I had just got back from New York. Last night was crazy. Basically, we needed to hit a 3-leg parlay for you gamblers out there, and we hit every single part of that leg. We won a head-to-head against the team that was above us, so we got in. And then Elon lost, and then UNCW won, which meant that CCU lost, which means I think we won their head to head as well. And basically, it was a miracle, right? Long story short, it was a miracle, and we made it in. And, much to Nate's surprise and my surprise as well. I know Nate was streaming last night of the Elon game.
Yeah, I
We
was
were rooting
harassed
for
into it, dude. I don't know what
UNC
to tell you.
Asheville. Oh yeah, by 3 of us. We had 2 of our players and myself pinging Nate. Hey, can you stream the game? Hey, can you stream the game? And we joined like halfway through game 1, and it was a blast. I mean, almost getting reverse sweep. UNC Asheville took games 1 and 2, and then Elon took 3 and 4. And after a 3-minute overtime in game 5, UNC Asheville was able to come out with the win, and thank God they did. So they will be at, or and so the Wolfpack, because of that, will be at the land of it.
You're saying I Mickey Mouse run for or Cinderella for UNCW. I don't know about that one. More like a Cinderella story for NC State.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
um, just so you know, I can't see you online, so you'll need to request to join my
You
party.
can't see me online.
But
That's crazy.
it should be a good one. Why can't I accept this? No, come back. It'll be a good land. I'm excited for it. It's definitely gonna be a fun tournament as all the top 7 teams from original seeding and power rankings all qualified, and then we had one from the lower group who kind of, some to say did have an easier schedule than other people, but when I made the schedule, they were the outlier that I was like, yeah, they definitely had the easiest schedule in the league, but there's
Oh
not much I
man.
could really do about it.
Yeah, speaking of schedule difficulty, you also gave the Wolfpack the hardest schedule.
That is not true. Not true.
That is okay. You can't change up now. Like,
I
like
it wasn't my fault. Greensboro was really good.
I didn't
On
say it
paper,
was your fault.
on paper, USC had the hardest schedule. I don't want to hear it.
God. Oh my God. Okay, so we had the second hardest schedule. We
Yes,
outside
there
of a
you go.
top 4 team, outside of a top 4 team and the teams we expected to be there, we had the hardest schedule. We played all top 5 teams, and I don't think any other team did, maybe except for South Carolina. Uh, you leave the match. Should I leave this one too, or are we
Yes,
still
I'm
good to go?
remaking it. I'm getting messages that they can't find it.
Okay. SJT, my goat. Go Gamecocks. I am a little biased towards South Carolina as well. I went to South Carolina for a couple of years, and I didn't know at the time that they had a Rocket League team. I wouldn't have made it anyway, with how good this team is, but it would have. I think I would have been a little more excited and probably involved in the esports scene. Um, but yeah, South Carolina has looked phenomenal. Again, I hope ERAU comes out and swinging. I really hope we see a back and forth series. I want Game 7 overtimes in both. I think it would be the most exciting thing to happen for us, especially with NECC wrapping up and this being the last week for them. All top 4 teams allowing us to stream their competitive games. We'll see how it goes, though. I'm hoping go Gamecocks. I'm hoping go Niners. But we will see it. Clearly, as this season has proved so far, they are both teams to be reckoned with. It's not like one is going to roll over easily, or at least I hope it doesn't go that way. Turn up SJT Og in the lobby. We have Bacon, Taylor, and Flip in the lobby as well. And we are diving into game number 1, ERAU versus South Carolina Gamecocks.
Definitely should be a good one as both these teams want to win, as apparently they know each other as well. As we saw quickly into the chat, is Flip gets a huge pop downfield, a quick shot from BCN as it just doesn't connect on that one, and USC forced into a quick defensive here. The Eagles coming out very strong with the control and the play here, trying to find some pressure onto the Gamecocks, but the Gamecocks managed to find an out and try and turn this one around as a pinch fires it into the hands of the Eagles in the corner. SJT looking for a pass midfield, no one there to collect, but Turnip with a heavenly pinch off the ceiling, right to Flip's hand as he's able to take this one over Og, looks to get it past the second, but SJT is there to shut it down, and the Eagles maintain possession, but with a clear out from Taylor, sends it right back to Turnip, looking for one more, goes for the 50, can he get it, gets it down, shot opportunity from Og as he tries to get it down off the backboard, and SJT is there to put it in for a 1-goal lead.
And the big difference from this offense between the Eagles and the Gamecocks is we get another chat between Og and the Eagles players. I think the big difference between the Gamecocks and the Eagles was that the Gamecocks had a threatening offense. We saw the Eagles were able to build that pressure, and pressure that was well earned, but the pressure didn't turn into anything super threatening. Granted, we're 1 minute into game number 1, and South Carolina is just playing phenomenally as a pass goes off the bar and no one is there. BCN able to pop this one into the corner. A wonderful save from ERAU. They were bailed out of that one as Taylor brings the offense, passing over to Flip, but it is sent into the corner again. I think ERAU has the looks, the exact looks that they want, and South Carolina has the looks they want as well. It's just I think South Carolina has come out a little more alive and awake in this game number 1.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one thing we will say we have seen time and time again from the Gamecocks is their aggressive play style. Lots of bumps and demos as a shot comes out here to drop it down, and the Gamecocks bring it to a 2-goal lead. But once again, displaying their physicality here as a demo comes out in the midfield, giving the Gamecocks the ball and setting up a great counterattack as they're able to sneak this one in with no one there on the back line to extend their lead. The Gamecocks' physicality has been something that's very difficult to deal with from every team, unless your name is Charlotte. And I'm curious to see if the Eagles are going to be able to turn that around, because that physicality can be almost a kryptonite to a lot of teams.
I completely agree, and so far it is the kryptonite as we get a backflip from Flip, true to his name. The pressure from South Carolina builds again, and there is a pinch pass out from Turnip to SJT. SJT, I believe, with the hat trick in this game number 1 with 3 minutes remaining. Wow, what a screamer of a shot, 73 miles an hour into the back of the net. As Gamecocks are commanding this lead. Not only have they gotten it, they are dominating in those demos, and that pressure continues to build. Turnip with a quick shot, and Og is there, but a beautiful save from BCN. The Eagles are starting to wake up a little bit on defense, but I don't know if it will be enough. Turnip off the backboard. BCN popped down. SJD taking his time, flipping over one. Tried to flick over two, but Taylor is there with the read. Taylor taking time, No one from South Carolina is back, but Turnip with low boost challenges that ball and forces it away. Og pops this one out. BCN with the catch. SJT goes up and another great 50. This could be a 1v1, but Turnip does well to increase that pressure and buy his team some more time. Taylor with the ball. Flick around one. Demo on the back line. This could be a shot. What a pop off the bar. What a save from Turnip, making it awkward for the last Eagles player to shoot, and then 50'd into the back of his own net. Og comes absolutely massive in this game, says hit the weight room flip. You got to be bigger than that if you're going to stop me. And Gamecocks take a 4-0 lead with 2 minutes left in game one.
I mean, just hit the gym, buddy. There's not much you can really say on that one. That one just got muscled through. It's a great opportunity presents itself here for the Eagles to put one in, but SJT there for the goal line save. Right now, USC looking very dominant in this matchup and really giving the Eagles no time or chance on the ball to try and make any type of counterattack, as this one falls right back into the Eagles' half for Og to get the challenge, firing it out, but Turnip looking for possession. SJT up from a mile away, gets the 50 on flip, and now the Eagles are forced to try and find a way out of this situation, but the Gamecocks are going to send them right back in as a fake touchdown, pinched off, and a shot from Og to extend it to a 5-goal lead. USC looking as strong and almost worthy of that 30-point ranking.
Yeah, they have been unbelievable in this game, number one. SJT with 3, Og with 2, combining for 5 goals with a minute and 30 remaining. Hopefully ERAU are able to get one for the road and get themselves back into this series, but as far as I'm concerned, this game is all but over. I think ERAU is skilled enough to get into this game as one goes off the post. I think a lot of these chances that they have will come with, they'll start to go in if they have a little more of them, right? They're just warming up a little bit as one goes right to the center of the net. BCN gets an awkward save out from Og, and Flip is able to capitalize on that, getting one for the road. I think they might be able to put a little bit of pressure on them. I don't think this game is quite over yet. Obviously, both these teams are really good, but we're going to need to see some miracles. We're going to need to see at least 2 kickoff goals, if I'm concerned. And we'll see if they can get back into it. And this could be the opportunity. Turnip and Taylor on the ball, but they do well to get back to it. And when you send the house, you will get punished for it. We are now on our way down to South America as the Gamecocks put the Eagles on Brazil watch.
Honestly, legendary shout right there, I'm just going to say. I mean, right now, I feel like if USC played like this the other night, maybe it's just UNC Charlotte might be a better team overall, or maybe they just have their number. But right now, if this team, if they played against Charlotte, it looks like it would have been a lot closer of a match or a closer of a series, as USC is just looking so dominant right now, controlling almost every possession, almost every 50, as this one doesn't go in their favor, but a missed shot from BCN as that one fires off the crossbar in the USC on the counterattack, looking for the possible Brazil, but the Eagles say not today. We will not be humiliated by the Gamecocks, but USC trying to give it the Turnip as he dribbles it down the field. A shot opportunity here presents itself, but SJT there for the 50. Og on the sidewall gets a soft touch, tries to get one more, but Taylor there to shut it down, but Turnip tries to get one on, but Og in the way as he's able to 50 that one out. USC looking as strong as ever as this one dribbles down and they bump comes out from Flip. No cigar on that play as the Gamecocks look like they'll be taking it in stylish fashion.
I agree. Stylish fashion might be a little bit of an understatement as well. We see 3 assists coming out from Turnip. We see 1 coming out from Og and SJT. 4 goals for SJT and 2 for Og. Turnip not getting any, but still hanging in there with the score. I think ERAU did well. They had 1 for 1. And I think if they warm themselves up now that game 1 is over, now that it's a best of 7, it is a long series. This will go the distance if they're able to start connecting on those shots. The opportunities are there. They have a lot to look forward to. They just need to, dot their I's and cross their T's. SJT with the kickoff pressure for the Gamecocks, trying to put this one off the ceiling over to Turnip, and does. 3 players jump from the ERAU Eagles, and because of that, one gets demoed on his way out. BCN popping it over to SJT. 3 initials going at it back and forth. Hog trying to get in the mix there as well, saying, don't forget about me. Taylor and Turnip fighting for it in the corner, but it's a little bit awkward right now. Turnip does well, should be able to pinch this out. A great Cuxer pinch, but it does go skyward over the net. A pass in, but a beautiful save from ERAU. I don't know what that one player was doing, passing it right into the middle of the box. That is a dangerous area, but this is the pressure that the Gamecocks bring you. They make you whiff, they make you go for these awkward plays, but BCN, even though it is awkward, able to bail them out time and time again.
Now with all getting a bump in the backfield, giving SJT some space to try and work with. Goes for the reset, gets 2, but does not connect on the shot as this one's pinched off the top, and a shot from Og 50'd out to the top right corner. The Gamecocks failing to capitalize on this opportunity as the Eagles try and get something going, but the Gamecocks there once again with the physicality from Turnip, giving them a little bit of momentum. No boost in the tank. BCN forced to try and do something, but Flip gets it past one, 50'd out by Og as this one falls into the hands of Taylor. Looking for a midfield pass to BCN, a shot, and it's off target to the left side. The Eagles starting to show signs of life with the pressure against the Gamecocks, but right now it's looking like they are just failing to capitalize. Lots of missed opportunities, lots of missed shots, missed bumps and demos that could have been capitalized by a second man. And I think they need to get more physical with it. I think they need to create more useful opportunities with those first man off ball demos and try and make USC awkward, as right now USC is just dominating the field. They're looking very comfortable as Og is there to cut it off. A shot opportunity. Taylor not able to get it as a double commit comes out from the Eagles, and a beautiful save. What is happening as a team bump comes out, but Og is there to put it in with the bump on the goal line.
That was the most South Carolina thing I have seen in my life. You see all 3 ERAU players scrambling, no boost, trying to get to the ball, double commits left and right, and still South Carolina gets the one bump and is able to give themselves a 1-0 lead in game number 2. That was a scramble, but I think South Carolina kind of enjoys the scramble. They're like an egg, you know, you crack them, make them whatever way you want. They will score regardless as Turnip tries to do it himself. BCN with the carry, but Turnip is there, keeping that pressure on, letting SJT take over, but it's popped harmlessly into the ERAU corner. SJT Simhall coming out with that back boost. I think the boost is beginning to be an issue for the Eagles. They're not being able to find it. As I say that, 2 players are able to get to it, but this South Carolina team up until now has been really diligent not to overcommit, has been taking those boots, and of course I am known to be a little cursive, or have a little bit of caster curse abilities in my system, and ERAU takes this one back to 1-1 in game number 2.
The Eagles are definitely showing a lot more composure than they were in that first game, going down 1-0 in the series. They look like they're making a lot of more team opportunities, trying to find quick counterattacks, as that is the one thing that can really stop USC, is if you're able to find those quick openings and take advantage very quickly, as one of USC's biggest playstyle with that physicality is keeping it in your half. They try and keep you locked, and they send the house pretty much, like you were saying. They send everything they can to keep you locked, to make you awkward, steal all your boosts, and eventually drain you to the point you can't even defend the play. As Og, once again, trying to take it high, goes for a touch off the backboard, but Flip is there to shut it down. SJT there to maintain control. As this one looks for a pass, no, he's going for a shot, fakes it out. 2 players jump from the Eagles. Turnip not able to put it on, but Og, once again, there's a redirect attempt, doesn't connect, as it looks like Turnip tries to pop it off the back wall, but can't connect on the pass. Now USC trying to find a gap in the Eagles' defense is a quick pass down the field. No one there to follow it up, as it looks like Taylor pick up the mid boost. Looks for a pass off the backboard. Potential shot opportunity blocked away by Turnip, as the Eagles are showing a lot more composure. It's a quick shot, and now the Eagles lead game 2, 2-1.
Yeah, the Eagles have done really, really well, like you just said there, with their composure. They're not freaking out because of this presence the South Carolina Gamecocks have. They're being a little bit more patient. They're not sending the ball away from themselves as soon as they need to. They're waiting for someone to bite and then sending it. It's buying them an unbelievable amount of time and alleviating a lot of pressure simultaneously. They're able to knock this ball away. See, keeping it close, wait for it to bite, but it brings opportunities, right? Opportunities that they did not have in game number 1 when it ended 6-1 in favor of the Gamecocks. The pressure from South Carolina isn't going to go away as BCN is flipping around in net. SJT says thank you very much. Turnip with the strong 50, popping this one out to a teammate and bringing it back to a tie game with 40 seconds left in game number 2.
I mean, that's just a crucial mistake on the Eagles right there. You can't get caught lacking on the goal line in that type of situation. As Turnip once again going for another pinch, as it looks like the Eagles might have figured out that strategy and started hard shutting it down. As Turnip tries to follow this one up, but Taylor with a pop to his corner, but right into the hands of Og, a shot opportunity, but SJT electing to play it safe. Let's Flip get a pass out for Og to take control. Now looking for a pass midfield here. Gets the reset over to Turnip. Turnip not able to get the touch he's looking for, as this one is fired out. And a quick shot from SJT extends their lead by 1 with only 11 seconds left.
One of the issues you run into in a series like this is that as an ERAU player, you know that the Gamecocks respect you, right? You know that they think that you're a good team. So part of the confusion is, why is that guy going? I'm right next to the ball. But that's South Carolina's whole thing. They love sending it at the ball. And even when you were winning 2-1 in game number 2, South Carolina is finding ways to get back to it. BCN not being aggressive enough, keeping the ball in the air, but South Carolina could put it down. Flip misses on the ball and leaves it for Taylor. Turnip keeping it up again. BCN and Taylor there, and at 0 seconds able to put this one in the back of the net. Wow. They must have heard me speaking and said, Colson, you're not done caster cursing today. BCN with a skim off the top of his car, barely not touching the ground and taking this game number 2 to overtime.
I'm going to be honest, that looked a little trolly to me. It looked like USC might have wanted this overtime to extend the the feelings of the series, make sure it feel like it's going both ways. As Og tries to pinch this one back down the field, gets the corner boost, leaving it for SJT for an opportunity as he gets it over 1, looking for another, can't get the reset, but Og there to pop it, looks for one more. BCN there to shut it down as Turnip is in the backfield, playing the backboard, trying to get that one out. 550s it off, as this one is now floating in the mid zone as a demo comes out on SJT, just what the Eagles needed, as the Eagles are now in a 2-on-1 situation, but a demo return from SJT as this one is 50'd out. A shot from Og blocked away by Flip, as now the Eagles trying to get back off their half as one comes out from SJT, and now the Eagles can get a little bit of space, collect the boost, collect their thoughts, and collect their composure as Turnip looks for the pinch off his teammate and does not connect on it.
Yeah, Turnip just proving to his teammate time and time again that he is faster. You think you're going for a pinch? Nah, I'm just going to beat you. Joking. I'm obviously joking. This team hasn't got to the decision they are without being very confident in one another. But like you said, they were trolling a little bit earlier at the end of this game, so they might as well troll a little bit more. Og pops it to himself. Heli reset, but a great save from BC and SJT trying to do it now. A lot of 3-letter names in this series. Turnip whiffs on one, but it was definitely on purpose for Og. Flip gets demoed for it, and it's popped over to SJT. A lot of back and forth, a lot of ping pong in this overtime, waiting for one team to break, trying to get through the uncrackable defense, and this could be the opportunity. Og popping it up to himself over Taylor, but Taylor gets a piece of it. It falls down, shot on by SJT, but as we are all familiar with that noise, the ping of the post rings true. The ERAU Eagles are still in this 2-minute overtime, but it could be over. Never mind, Taylor clears it out to the corner, and overtime continues.
A dangerous position there as the Eagles are once again on their defensive half with both players on the backboard. No one back post. SJT with a full tank goes for a bump as well. Doesn't connect on it, but that was Og, wasn't it? SJT there to put it in as Og manages to get over the first one. Almost bumps the second one, but making him awkward. And SJT there to put it in to bring it home. The Gamecocks now leading 2-0 in the series. I mean, right now, it's just looking like the Eagles need to capitalize. They're putting really awkward situations, and they're missing a lot of opportunities through just lack of team play and team coordination. So, if they can turn that around, I think they have a very strong chance at bouncing back in this series. They just got to make sure they're not getting awkward and they're not collapsing on that defensive side. As soon as you collapse, that's where USC thrives. And once you collapse, they're just going to keep putting the pressure on you more and more. And eventually you're just going to buckle and you're not going to stand a chance.
I agree. I think the Eagles looked really good in this game, however. I don't think they were, by any stretch of the means, doing poorly. They were winning by a goal at one point in the series, but they just didn't hold on. They were given a little bit of help by South Carolina trolling at the end of that game, number 2, but that is behind them now. I think, like you were saying, you got to look forward a little. You got to just connect on the current opportunities that you have. Go for the shots that you have right in front of you and hope that you're able to score them. Because as of right now, South Carolina is cutting you up as Turnip sends one off the post. Missed opportunities, the story of this series so far. South Carolina missing one off the post. A little assist from Turnip popped out to BCN. And just like that, the Eagles are up 1-0 in game number 3.
I mean, that might be the cushion they need, but as we saw last game, USC can turn that around really quickly as BCN getting a little bit of a mistouch into the corner for SJT with a full tank of boost, trying to do one more, gets the second touch, looks for the pass, doesn't connect on it, but Turnip there to follow it up, and now Og able to pop it off the backboard, but BCN there for the shot, flip, not able to follow up is a quick challenge from the Gamecocks, but Turnip there to send it right back. SJT already up in the air. The trust from these Gamecock players is honestly outstanding. Almost every single passing opportunity you see from them, they are already up in the air, and they are trying to find an opportunity to play through one another, not play to one each other.
Yeah, I completely agree. As Flip sends a beauty of a redirect on target, SJT popping it over for Turnip. Turnip whips, and BCN says thank you very much for that goal. We will go up 2-0 with 4 minutes remaining. Wow, handed that one on a silver platter. I don't think BCN has had easier shots in his entire career, but South Carolina has been in this position before. They were down in game number 2, came back and won it. But with plays like that, BCN looks to capitalize on this lead. Flip, putting it behind the last back defender. South Carolina is now down 3. The Eagles have completely flipped the script and are looking to take game number 3. 3 goals up, 3:50 remaining.
I mean, what has happened here for the Gamecocks? They have just absolutely collapsed. Maybe a little too much trolling in the last game. It kind of unlocked them, and now the Eagles are taking full advantage. I think the Eagles might have a coach in the lobby as well, so that could be playing a factor in between games. They're kind of getting a little bit of coaching, finding the weaknesses, and right now it's looking like the Eagles are definitely exploiting those weaknesses as Og gets a 50 out to the mid zone. A shot attempt from SJT missed out as BCN there to send it there. And another one goes in for the Eagles, extending their lead to 4. Right now, the Eagles have found the gap in USC's attack, and they are capitalizing on every opportunity with a quick counterattack.
This is what we were expecting to see from the Eagles in this series, and this is very reminiscent of the Gamecocks game number 1. It is 4-0 as this could be SJT's moment to shine. BCN does well to harass him enough to let Flip get the save, popping it over one out to Turnip. Turnip going for it again, but Flip does well to pop this one out to BCN and get a long booming clear. I think that the Eagles are playing pretty much the same game that they have been playing. They're just not panicking as much, right? They're letting the Gamecocks drop the ball right in front of their net. And Taylor, yet again, one of the easiest goals of his career. These players are all SSL, but they're scoring goals that you and I can score in GC1. They're just waiting for a mistake. They're being patient. I think South Carolina got so used to just getting it sent at them by an Eagles player that now when the Eagles just threaten going, they're just dropping it. They're saying, oh, I've already beat one, and taking it for granted. And the Eagles are running away with this game number 3 because of that.
One thing I definitely want to say is I feel like a lot of these opportunities are being created through mistouches as Turnip gets the right one there, but a beautiful save from Taylor as BCN there to follow it up off his corner. Can't get the reset. SJT with no boost in the tank tries to get one up. A quick shot on net, but BCN there to save it as that 5-0 lead holds, but Og there for the quick shot, blocked away by Taylor. Once again, USC trying to find a way to get through this Eagles goal line, but a 50 fires it out. And honestly, it's just that right now the mistakes from USC are showcasing, as almost every opportunity has been created through either a missed touch in the wide open net or a missed opportunity from USC to capitalize. And it's just creating every chance for the Eagles to create a quick counter, whether it's a double commit or it's a missed touch off the backboard, laying the ball there for a pinch from the Eagles. The Eagles are just taking advantage of every slim mistake that we are seeing on this pitch today.
I completely agree, and I think they're doing a great job of facilitating that as well, right? Like, South Carolina isn't a team that just drops the ball. Like, we saw them play in games 1 and 2. We see the team plays that we're seeing right now. I think the Eagles are just forcing these crazy mistakes. Like, right there, they're given a free goal. The last man for South Carolina, being in their normal aggressive style, doesn't think that Flip is going to send it. He thinks he's going to be patient like he was for the majority of this game number 3. But instead, Flip goes, no, I'm going to go back to what I was doing, flip the script back to what we were doing in games 1 and 2, and sends it and puts their reverses the script completely. And just as I say it, I was about to say it. Thank you very much, Og. We are now on our way down to South America. We are on Brazil watch.
I mean, the Eagles returning the favor from the previous game earlier in the series. I think it was game 1. Kind of a wake up call for the Gamecocks, as a Turnip tries to take this one off the sidewall, gets the reset. Can he drop it down? No, a beautiful save from BCN as he's able to pop this one in. A shot from SJT blocked out by Taylor. USC not really having any type of answer to this situation. You may have gotten one, but that doesn't matter if you're down by 5. You got to find a way to close the gap as another one comes out off the crossbar. Turnip there to put it in. Og there to bring it to a 4-goal lead with 1:02 seconds left. USC, could they do it? Do you think they could come back in a 4-goal deficit in a minute?
I've seen crazier things in my time casting Rocket League and even just watching Rocket League. I don't know. I highly doubt it. If there was a percent chance, like this was Amazon and football, I don't think it's highly likely, right? Like, we're going to have to send the house. You're going to be prone to making a mistake because you're going to have to be playing faster. But if you're prone to making mistakes, the same thing, the mistakes that the Gamecocks have been making in this game number 3 are now plaguing the Eagles. BCN's, why would Og go here? He would go here because there are 50 seconds left. You're up by 4. He has to go there. Take what you see at face value. Go for the ball regardless. You can't become complacent against this South Carolina squad who you've seen be hyper-aggressive even when they're winning. You can't take it for granted. You just have to keep that pressure on, and I think that 3rd goal will be the wake-up call for the Eagles as the Gamecocks look to fire back. A strong shot popping over, and another one goes in for South Carolina. 2 goals in 30 seconds. This is what you were asking me if I thought was possible, and I said no. South Carolina is on pace to bring this one to overtime.
I mean, so right now, it's looking like USC might have just swapped up their entire play style with 1 minute left and just turned on the Jets. Because right now, the Eagles look lost in the pacing of this match. They look like they have no response as another shot opportunity comes out. Og there to put it on target, but Flip there for the save as the Eagles just got to find a way to stay alive. They can't let the Gamecocks create an opportunity. SJT there to try and get one more as this one's bounced out. A shot chance here is Turnip. Put it on target, but no power. And it looks like the Eagles might skirt away in game number 3 with a huge save on the goal line and put it in with a missed save to bring it to a 7-4 game for the Eagles to finally pick up a game in the series.
And I think this is the Eagles that we've expected to see, right? Like, there's a reason they're top 4 in NECC. There's a reason South Carolina is too. This is the back and forth that I was more so expecting at the very beginning of this series. And I'm glad to finally see that we are seeing it. We see BCN dropping 1,000 points, nearly 1,100 points in this game. 3 goals, 2 assists, and 6 saves. 3 shots as well, 100% from the field. Oh, I have to sneeze, so please excuse me for a second, Nate, as you please take over.
I mean, right now, I think we can definitely say that game came down to BCN being a very, very important model player for the Eagles. He turned into a very important aspect of their entire play, their offense and their defensive positioning, their opportunities and their capitalization. And dropping a band against USC is no easy feat. It is something that's very difficult to do. And right now, I'm not sure if he's going to do it again here, as I think USC wants to go ahead and close this one out as fast as possible. But I'm curious to see if the Eagles are going to find that quick adjustment and be able to return the favor and bring it back to a tied series, or if USC is just going to roll away with it as a shot comes out from Og, blocked away by Flip. And now the Eagles on the counterattack, but no boost in the tank, but a drop down the Flip, trying to get one more, challenging against Og, gets a fake out on the 50 in, and the Eagles go up 1-0 20 seconds in.
I think this is the perfect example of the clash of the play styles, right? We've seen the hyper-aggressiveness coming out from South Carolina, and now we're seeing the calm, cool, collected patience from the Eagles. We're waiting for them to challenge the ball. We're putting the ball, just floating it. It's not the flashiest goal. It's not a triple flip reset, but it is an air dribble dunk. Pop it up once, let a South Carolina player touch it back into you, and then you get a goal from it. Less than 30 seconds into game number 4. But that aggression from South Carolina is going to do miracles for this Gamecock squad, as we see a little bit of style coming out from Turnip after the goal explosion. 1-1 in this game. The demos, the aggression, the pace is something the Eagles have to look out for. You can keep that kind of slower, calm, cool, collected play style if you're up to the pace of this Gamecock squad. And right now, they've done well so far through games 1 through 3, but you're going to have to keep it up because South Carolina is unrelenting.
I mean, I think it's going to come down to the consistency of the Gamecocks here, because we saw when they turned on the Jets, the Eagles could not keep up, but once they start making those mistakes again, you can't afford to let the Eagles start walking away with a huge lead, because eventually it's going to be too late for you to claw back that deficit as a bang comes down the field, a wide open net, no SJT there to try and collect it. A little bit of an awkward touch, but able to return it and control it, but for Flip to get a quick challenge. Turnip looks for one more, gets it past Taylor. BCN alone in the backfield as Flip gets the rotation back, but a pinch attempt comes out from the Gamecocks. And now it's going to be the Eagles on a quick counterattack, but a 50 on the back line against both Eagles players. BCN forced to make a touch as this one could sneak in here. Oh, can he get there in time? And no, the Eagles extend their lead by 1. A huge opportunity missed for the Gamecocks, as a double demo should almost always be a goal-scoring opportunity just for the Eagles to find that counterattack opportunity as well.
Yeah, I think the Eagles did really well. I forget who it was on that back line, but they did a phenomenal job staying calm and composed as Flip with a worldie of a save, pitching it faster than I've seen any ball go in the history of Rocket League, denting the ceiling and keeping this game 2-1 in favor of the Eagles, but it is not over. BCN trying to keep the pressure on, but SJT able to pop this one out. Taylor keeping it close. I think this is the Eagles side that South Carolina isn't used to. They're beating one player and not throwing the ball away immediately, and that's dangerous, especially against a team like the Eagles. I think South Carolina, as we saw at the end of Game 3, could do well to adapt. The danger of this play style is overcommits, and the Eagles are starting to figure out when to put that pressure on and when to make sure that they need to stay back. But the pressure is starting to build for South Carolina yet again. BCN off wall, leaving it for Taylor. Og primed to pounce, but gets 50'd out by Flip. Flip popping it off of Turnip, and the pressure, the ping pong game in game number 4 continues.
I mean, right now, it looks like a very even game. USC kind of poking and prodding, trying to find a way. But as that clock starts ticking down, they're going to have to find something soon. The last thing you want to do is get into a last-second situation where you're down by a goal or two. As a scoring opportunity happens here, but a poor flick from Taylor as Turnip is there for an easy save. Looking for a redirect off the sidewall, connects on it. Og with a beautiful redirect off the corner to equalize this game for the Eagles. What a beautiful shot, as that one is just perfectly placed in between both of the Eagles players on the goal line.
That is the dangerous part of being patient in the threes game mode. You have people like Og who can just pull that out of their bag of tricks, right? That was an unbelievable shot. Had me stuttering and saying ew before it was my turn to speak. It was gross, but this could be it for the Eagles. Flip with a pre-flip. BCN with a shot on, but Turnip and SJT bailing the Gamecocks out, keeping this game tied at 2-2. Flip popping into the corner, getting it past two Gamecock defenders. Og almost caught out, but that pressure keeps BCN from getting full boost and keeps that counterattack from ever coming to fruition. BCN doesn't care though. It's a long, clear beauty on the placement, 38 miles an hour, but popping it over the last back defender. Turnip not ready for a top right shot, and the Eagles go up 3-2 in game number 4.
I mean, that could be the confidence boost the Eagles need to eventually close out this game and tie the series, as another one sneaks by the Gamecock goal line off the kickoff to extend it to a 2-goal lead. The Gamecocks in shambles in game 4 here, as the Eagles are starting to slowly just walk away with it. They're going to have to find a quick counterattack, or we might find ourselves in a very similar situation to game 3, where there just might not be enough time on the clock for the Eagles to make that comeback, as a demo or a bump comes out. All three of the Eagles players upfield, but no one from USC able to capitalize, as Flip gets the reset over to BCN with a pop out, but Turnip there to control it, looking for one more. A bump attempt from SJT, or from Og, as SJT gets bumped out by Og as well. And now the Eagles might walk away with a little bit of a space here and a little bit of capitalization, but a dangerous miss. Double commits all over the place from the Gamecocks as the pass comes out, as this one is saved away. SJT there to save Turnip's skin, as that one could have been a free shot for the Eagles.
Yeah, I think Turnip is trying to do a little bit too much right now. He normally has phenomenal games for the Gamecocks, but he's trying to make something happen. And to be fair, there's 30 seconds left. You're down by 2. You might as well try to make something happen. It has worked in games 1 and 2, but right now it's not working in games 3 and 4. And it comes down to those small errors, right? It comes down to those double commits, as we see another one happen for the Gamecocks. There are 10 seconds left, so I don't mind it as much, right? You got to send the house if you want to have a chance of getting back into this one. And unless you score right now, which you aren't, this game is all but over. The Eagles getting what should have been a goal. If you're seeing what I'm seeing, that ball is all the way in the net. It ends 4-2, but it might have been 5-2 if we were given a tenth of a second more. The Eagles look phenomenal in this series yet again. They are using the aggression of the Gamecocks against them. I think it's getting into the heads of the South Carolina players as well. We see them try to go for something a little slower paced, but no one from the Eagles bites, and it's causing some rotational problems and issues for themselves instead. So it's backfiring on them when they try to do what the Eagles are doing. I think they just got to send it. They're a faster team. They got to trust that when they have these mechanical errors like they did in game number 3, which leads to blowout series, it's just something that happens in one game. Contain it to one game. Don't try to do too much. Don't try to be anything that you're not. You got to take what is given in front of you. You know that they are starting to be a little fancy, so be a little bit faster. Go for it. Don't let them get these awkward floating 50s on the ball. Just send the house, because as of right now, trying to swap your play style has brought this series back to 2-2 as we dive into game number 5. The Eagles looking to make this a 4-2 series. The Gamecocks looking to hold on and make it 4-2 for themselves. Flip popping this one off the ceiling. Og is first to it. 2 players go for the Eagles as Turnip pops this one. This could be the Gamecocks' opportunity, but Taylor does well to send it. Again, another double commit. Both players called off. There needs to be a bump. The Gamecocks special. Taylor tries to go for it, but Og does well, putting this one onto the backboard far enough away so that Taylor can't get to it, and gets the easiest double tap of his life. Gamecocks go up 1-0 in game number 5.
I mean, right now, that's definitely a situation you did not want to happen for your team as the Eagles. As I mean, that's a wide open play for the Gamecocks, and they're going to take it almost every time as a kickoff attempt comes out from the Gamecocks as well, showcasing a new sign of life as BCN shuts that one down, but Og there to control it into his corner. A little bit of a mistouch, but able to get it past Taylor. A beautiful possession from Og as SJT is there to try and take control, but a demo on the back line creates an opportunity. A pinch out Og in an awkward position, but full boost in the tank, able to take possession of it and control this one out to his team, as USC trying to go for that quick counterattack and apply the pressure instigate the lock that they so much love. But right now, the Gamecocks yet to break through the line on this one for the Eagles. The Eagles yet to find a quick counter as SJT gets a 50 off the ceiling, a shot opportunity, but no one there to capitalize as it looks like USC might have adjusted to the Eagles' play style.
Yeah, I agree. As Og has an awkward touch, but is able to recover, saving 2 shots the Eagles sent his way. They look much more aggressive. Both players, or all 3 players, are able to 50, not one, but also 2 of the Eagles players. We see a double commit come out as Og calls him off against a great touch. BCN able to play it slow. One of the 3-letter initial players is there. But look at the aggression. The demos are the saving grace for the Gamecocks. They are the missing link. They are the key to the lockbox. Once you have that speed, that aggression combined with the demos, that is how they were able to dominate in games 1 and 2. That's what they need to get back to and continue doing in this game number 5. As the pressure builds, one goes off the bar. Og sends one again, but it goes harmlessly off the post. Turnip floating in the air, but gets 15 out by BCN. Able to steal the boost back, and this one gets popped over SJT. This could be the counterattack the Eagles were looking for, but Og does well to space himself further back enough not to get demoed for being there as last back. Flip with a full boost, able to pop this one over. Let's see if the Eagles are able to tie up game number 5.
As the Eagles double commit for that one as well, as this one could go off the crossbar. A scoring opportunity missed by the Gamecocks with 2:05 left on the clock. The Eagles are losing time, and the last thing you want to do is go down to match point in this BO7 as a shot comes out from the Gamecocks, blocked away. But Og there to maintain possession, but gives it away to Flip, who now air dribbles it down to the left side field or left side wall, trying to set up his team as BCN, enough boost in the tank to get a quick shot, top left corner, blocked away by Turnip, as now the Eagles showcasing what pressure they can have, as this one's an awkward 50'd in off that right side post, as the Eagles trying to find a way, but a dive from that third man leaves a wide open net for the Gamecocks to extend their lead. And right now, I think it's just coming down to the Eagles either having double commits or an overcommit as at third, as the Gamecocks are doing a great job making it look really awkward, drawing in the Eagles, and then taking advantage of it.
I completely agree. I think it's what the Eagles were doing so well in games 3 and 4, forcing South Carolina to be effective. But man, they are getting punished on these kickoffs. The Eagles have gotten a lot of the kickoffs to go their way in the recent 3 games, and it is what's keeping them in these games. They're currently only down by 1 goal just because of another kickoff. If you're a South Carolina fan, it's easily recoverable. It's not something you should be super worried about, but that is something you should be worried about. BCN in the air with full boost. SJT able to pop this one into the corner. Turnip backflipping on that one, popping it over to SJT with a free flip. Turnip popping it over one again. Off the backboard, SJT up, but BCN able to pop this one into the corner. The pressure is not over for the Gamecocks, though. They are able to keep it on as Taylor bats another one out of the way. SJT over to Turnip, popped out. No one's there. 2 commit from the Eagles, but no one from the Gamecocks there to capitalize as Flip pops this one out to alleviate some of that Gamecock pressure.
Right now, I think the biggest flaw I've seen from the Eagles' side is the fact BCN and Flip almost have the exact same ideas and can do it at the exact same time, causing a lot of double commits on their offensive and defensive possessions, giving the Gamecocks time and space to take advantage as a bump comes out from Turnip, a scoring opportunity, but he drops it back for SJT, who pops it out for Og, who's already up in the air, looks for the reset, double tap, doesn't connect on it. Taylor with a beautiful controlled save off the backboard, but SJT there to shut it down. The Eagles, with 15 seconds left, gotta find a way to get off their half, as Taylor, with no boost in the tank, drops it down to BCN, but SJT all over it to take control, as Taylor 50s this one out to the side of wall. Now Flip, with a little bit of a mistouch here, gets the 50, looks for one more, keeps this one alive, but drops it down, and the Gamecocks will be advancing to 3-2 in the series to achieve match point.
Yeah, I think the Gamecocks recovered well. Again, this has been a very back and forth series. 2 games for the Gamecocks, 2 for the Eagles. Eagles hoping that this next 2 games goes 1-1. One the Gamecocks just got. They got game number 5. The Eagles need to take game number 6 to send this to a game number 7, and that is what I'm hoping for. Og has come alive in this series. 2 goals and 5 saves for the Gamecocks, keeping them in this game. And I would say it was a close game, but the Eagles got one off kickoff. All the pressure that they're building doesn't seem to be coming to fruition. They haven't got anything sustained that has caused the Gamecocks any concern. Now, if you're able to win 3 kickoffs, that would be perfect, right? You could go up 3-0, and that would be great. But I don't think you're going to see that consistently enough against a team like the Gamecocks. The midfield presence is unbelievable, and their kickoffs are great. But as I say that, Caster Curse number 3 of the night for Colson. Flip with a great 50. Turn up not challenging the ball. BCN with all the time in the world after a soft touch, putting the Eagles up 1-0 in game number 6, looking for that game number 7.
I mean, the Eagles definitely wanted to take this one to 7, but that's exactly what we were hoping for as well as casters. I would love to see a game 7, and honestly, I'd like to see 2 tonight as the Eagles try and put another one in, extend it to a 2-0 lead. And now with 15 seconds into game 6, the Eagles leading by a pretty good margin. Not only do they have 1 cushion, but now they have 2. That is a great position to start this match in game 6 as we try and take this one to 7. See how the Gamecocks can adjust as a kickoff attempt comes out, goes in the Eagles' favor, but now SJT there to control it. Flip there to 50 this one out to the sidewall. Turn up with great control. Maintains possession. Looks for an open net. Can Flip there or get there in time. He does, but Og there to try and put it back. But Flip with expert awareness. He's able to get an extra touch. A dangerous situation for the Eagles. But a beautiful 50 comes out from BCN, giving his team a little bit more space, forcing it into the neutral zone. Is now looking for a pass across field. Og all over this one as this one's fired off the corner. Another bins shot from Og, top right. Another great corner redirect as Og brings it down to an only 1 goal deficit for the Gamecocks.
Yeah, wow. A screamer into the top right corner. Og is alive and well, and he is keeping the Gamecocks' hopes alive to make this a 6-game series. But not if Taylor has anything to say about it. Bumped away from the play. SJT by 1. BCN last back and does well to clear this one out. Og on the ball, full boost, slight mistouch, but is able to recover from it and get back to it. Turnip, unfortunately, not there. Flip capitalizing on the small rotational error and bringing it back to a 2-goal separation in game number 6. The Eagles are poised to take this one to 7.
I mean, I'm not going to complain. Give me another game 7 as that'd be a great display from the Eagles, and the Gamecocks is up by 2. They're definitely in a comfortable position, even if USC scored a goal and brought it to originally a 1-goal lead. Right now, the Eagles have looked like, once again, they have changed up their play style, and they are addressing the changes that the USC Gamecocks made. As Og tries to get this one up, and Turnip is there to follow it off the corner. A scoring opportunity, but Flip all over that one as a double commit comes out on the Eagles' goal line. But plenty of time and space as Taylor gets it past 1. Plenty of space to take control. Just needs to get it past the 2nd. Can he get it past the 3rd? Og able to get the save off the crossbar as he's able to jump down and get the touch for the quick counterattack. As now the Eagles are forced onto the defensive as a shot comes out from SJT, but an easy save for Flip. And I think this series is going to come down to a game 7 match of who can be more adaptable and who can find the weakness. Because now USC is going to have a little bit of a trump card going into game 7, and they can make that adjustment.
I agree, but right now the defense from the Eagles is holding out that Gamecock aggression that has been giving them so many problems. SJT aware of it as well. Normally that 3rd man from the Gamecocks just sends it, but the Eagles have been playing phenomenally. A lot of double commits not to be seen, or when they are, it doesn't matter. Almost caught out again, but Og able to tap this one over to his own corner for safety, but here come the Eagles. Flip on the ball, over 1, trying to get past a 2nd, and does, but it is tapped away into the corner. Og to SJT. BCN to intercept all 3 initial players on that play as it goes into the Eagles' corner harmlessly away. Taylor with time on the ball, but doesn't do anything with it as SJT just sends this. This could have been awkward. I don't think anyone from the Gamecocks expected that one to float so harmlessly in front of the net. And that's what you get for taking your time against the Gamecocks like that. BCN uses all his boost. No one is ready for that flip. Flips off the post, and Og slots it behind him. The Gamecocks bring this game within one.
I mean, that's a dangerous position. You've officially lost your cushion goal against the Gamecocks. And the last thing you want to do is buckle under this pressure with only a minute 50 left and drop in game 6 as a quick shot comes out. And that goal lead and cushion for the Eagles vanishes in less than a minute. Now the Eagles are forcing to try and make one. A missed opportunity, a missed counterattack as Taylor couldn't connect on the attempt. And USC equalizing this with a minute 45 left. This is going to be a dangerous position for the Eagles being in match point.
Yeah, I agree. I think the aggression from the Gamecocks is causing the Eagles to scramble. We don't need to pass that one mid when we're all at low boost. We can take the 50 in the corner and leave it there. Let the next guy in line make the save. But the Eagles are going to be able to recover from this with plays like that. Taylor over to BCN, but a backflip comes out, keeping this game tied. SJT popping this one off the corner. Doesn't get the full boost, but does fake out his teammate. BCN wise to that read, letting it go low. This net is wide open. This should be a goal for the Gamecocks. Popped out by Turnip, and Og makes this game in favor of the Gamecocks, coming back from a 3-1 deficit. 3 unanswered goals for the Gamecocks as there's 1 minute left in game number 6.
The Eagles needing to try and find a response here with only a minute left, like you were saying. The clock is ticking for them. They want to go to 7. I want to see a 7, but the Gamecocks are trying to close this one out. Who knows? Maybe they have another game at 9, and then with 4 minutes left, or at 8 p.m. and with 4 minutes left, they need to go ahead and close it out now. Is this one a dribbler off that right side post? Now the Eagles getting a lifeline, not going down by 2 goals there, but USC upping the onslaught as BCN not able to get the touch. A great stop from Taylor, but forcing a touch right back to Turnip as the Gamecocks looking for one. A pinch from Og as this one could roll in, but Taylor there for the save. Turnip leaving it for SJT to fire at midfield, but BCN gets the clear down. 25 seconds left. The Eagles need to find a quick challenge as this one drops down off the ceiling. Taylor with the possession gets the 50, a scoring opportunity for SJT as he's the last one back, and he manages to get the save. And now Og with a quick clear out, but the Eagles a little bit of a mistouch as this one fires up. BCN off the backboard. No one there as a backflip comes out from Taylor. A scoring opportunity as now the Gamecocks seal the Eagles' fate and secure their spot as the current 1 seed in the NECC Div 2 stage.
It seems like this game is over. BCN has left the lobby. We see 4 GGs coming out from the players as the time runs out on this one. That was a phenomenal series. The Eagles started to have a comeback, but the Gamecocks are able to hold on and take it in 6. 2 games for the Gamecocks, 2 games for the Eagles, and 2 more for the Gamecocks. Even with the coach buff for the Eagles, they weren't able to come back in this series. I think they have a lot to be proud of, though. They were able to contain a ferocious South Carolina for 2 games and dominate them in spectacular fashion in one of them. I think that they got a little bit too passive, though. That's one of the downsides of playing South Carolina. Once you feel like you have a groove against them, you think, oh, they're not going to actually challenge me. We're doing so well. They're going to turn it up another level. And that's exactly what we saw. They kept that pressure on. They said, we know you beat us by going a little slower, so we're just not going to give you that time anymore. You were able to find it. Well, good luck finding it now. And that's why I think we saw the 4-2 scoreline in favor of the Gamecocks. Nate, what do you think was the most important thing that happened in that series that sealed the win for the Gamecocks?
Honestly, their physicality and their ability to just ramp up the speed. I mean, they may start making mistakes, but that's the best way to get better at your pace is playing as fast as you can and learning how to make those touches under that high pressure situation. And that is something we definitely saw. But the Eagles just couldn't adjust to it. I mean, USC came out with a dominant pace, of lots of physicality, and the Eagles were making adjustments, but it looks like the USC was just a more adaptable team on the pitch in the moment in that one, and they were able to walk away in Game 6 with like a minute left, and they were able to pull away and take the win. As now they should go 6-0 in NECC, and will be playing at UNC Charlotte next week, who they currently just lost to in C3 in 3-1 fashion. So I'm curious to see how that one will play out. But hopefully the Eagles can bounce back. They've had a great season going for them so far. They've had a very strong one, and they've shown a lot of potential and a lot of growth, especially when they stomped my poor UNC Wilmington team in week 1. So I'm excited to see how they develop, but we will be right back as we have Charlotte in the Florida Gators, the 3rd and 4th seed in this NECC Div 2 stage, and we will be right back with that match. Welcome back, everybody. We are gonna sit on this screen for now while we wait for the Florida Gators to join the lobby. Um, but no, oh golly, I was reading a DM and now I just lost my train of thought. Someone asked me about scholarship stuff.
Oh, bro.
But no, right now we're waiting on the Florida Gators to join in this matchup while Charlotte's already sitting in here waiting for or in the lobby. But this should be another good one. Charlotte as the 3rd seed currently, and Florida Gators as the 4th seed. But both of these teams almost literally identical records, identical win percentages. They just haven't faced off head to head. So this is really a 3rd place match at the moment, or actually it could be a 2nd place actually if the Charlotte has already beaten ERAU, the Eagles from last series. But I'm excited for it. We played Florida, and they have Hammy Crackers on their team, who's a very strong player, a very strong asset to the Gators team. And I'm curious to see if they put up a fight against Charlotte. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking I've seen Knight, Lazy, and Balla play together, and I'm thinking I remember how they 3-1 the Gamecocks yesterday. I think it was. Is today Thursday or is today Wednesday? Today's Wednesday. Good Lord, my days are all messed up. Um, I think Charlotte, if they aren't trolling, should dominate in this series, as it looks like Sap, Hammy Crackers, and Larry have joined Florida against Charlotte. I'm hoping that Charlotte comes out on top. A little bragging point for C3 then. Both of our teams ending teams 1 and 2 in the NECC if the head-to-head holds true. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm hoping that Florida brings it to them. I'm hoping this goes best of 7, right? Um, but I think Charlotte takes this in similar fashion to South Carolina and takes it in 6.
Really? I think I'm hoping to see a 7. I think Charlotte's gonna put a good run, but it takes them a little bit of time to get warmed up. As I can almost promise you, they were not playing before this series. I can almost promise you that they're not warm. So, with that being said, in this game, I do think that the Florida Gators will put up a good fight here. As I think Florida puts in, they're a very high level team, a very high paced team. They kind of remind me of a less aggressive USC. And honestly, I think they might be a good mix of Charlotte and USC's play styles. As a quick shot attempt comes out, but a great clear from Balla. Larry with an expert touch off that side wall, able to force it out, but a pinch fires this one downfield for Hammy Crackers to take control. Now off the ceiling, looks it past one, able to get it past Lazy, but not past Balla. As now Larry there to get the clear out, but no one in the midfield to capitalize. Charlotte already trying to showcase their passing lane control. As Larry's there for a quick shot, is a pre-flip from Balla, fires this one past Larry on the goal line. A free shot for Balla, and UNC Charlotte taking an early lead in this game.
And that's the speed that I was expecting Charlotte to come out with, right? That's the speed they dominated with against South Carolina. South Carolina is now the #1 team in the NECC division, and Charlotte has been able to dominate them in series previous. But it's going to depend entirely on how Florida comes out, because Knight is not going to wait for you. He's going to do it himself. Take the ball off of Larry's mistouch. Hammy isn't ready for it, tries to bail Sap out, but Knight is able to beat all 3 and give Charlotte the 2-0 lead 50 seconds into game #1.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Florida's just getting warmed up. Maybe they need to get a little warmed up here, as I know this Florida roster is a very strong team, and they've had a lot of great opportunities and a lot of great development as this season has progressed. As Sap showcasing a little bit of a mechanical ability, tries to get it past, but Charlotte all over this one. As Hammy Crackers off the ceiling again, drops it down, can't get it past Knight, but a 50 fires it mid for a quick shot from Lazy. Larry with the pre-flip, floating in midair in the goal line, gets the save. Florida in a constant defensive position, but now for Sap, looking for one more touch, gets it past 2, a scoring opportunity as Balla with a beautiful 50, gets this one out, but Knight there, and a Sap there, gets the shot opportunity, 50'd in off the wall. Don't know how that one went in, as Florida brings it back to a 1-goal lead for Charlotte.
I think this is going to be what Florida has to do, right? I don't know what I should call that, a double, triple, quadruple, quintuple touch, but it doesn't matter. It goes into the back of the net, like you said. I think we're going to that Florida's going to have to rely on one player from their team beating out two of the Charlotte defenders, and then taking the mid control, grabbing enough boost, forcing Charlotte to make a play. And if they can't make it against the number 4 team in the country, that's just going to be how it's going to go. Sap is used to hitting weird shots like that. It's for us something that's like, how did that possibly go in? But for them, it's normal. And speaking of, oh, I was about to get so hyped. Hammy sends one off the crossbar, not what he wanted, and immediately counterattacked. Knight able to bring this to a 2-goal lead differential instead of the 0-goal lead differential that it should have been if Hammy was able to connect on that play. Knight does well with a beautiful counterattack, sending Charlotte up 3-1 in game number 1.
I mean, those type of missed opportunities are crucial at this level of play. You get one opportunity, you got to slot it, because as soon as your team commits for an opportunity and that opportunity to take the lead or equalize a game, if you guys fully commit to it and you don't get it, it leaves your team in a very open position, a very vulnerable position for the other team to get a quick counterattack, as Charlotte demonstrated right there. Missed double touch, went off the crossbar, and they were able to get a quick 1-2 passing play as Florida scrambles on the goal line, trying to find a way to get out of this lock from Charlotte, as Lazy looks for a pass midfield. Knight there to follow it up. No one there to capitalize, as Sap looks for a pass across the field, but Bala there to shut it down. But Hammy with the read, looks for the double. A shot from Larry is this one barred down in, and it looks like Florida is still in this game.
Yeah, they are showing their mechanics. Hammy with the bump on the last defender. Not sure if it did anything, and Larry able to put this one far down. Florida clawing their way back into game number 1 as we dive into the kickoff, going in favor of Charlotte. Bala over 1. Back down to the ground. Around Sap. Pass to Knight. It's far down and out and popped back lower. That's one that Charlotte wishes they could have back, but they do have an insurance goal for now. Sap whiffs on that one. 50-50 coming out from Charlotte and Florida. Lazy goes for it, but Hammy is there. Bala should send this one for Knight and does, but Sap is privy to it. Knight popping this one out. Larry does well to control it, popping it out mid. Lazy popping it over 1 and getting it away from Sap, buying his teammates some time. No boost with a flick. Bala with a 50 on Larry. Larry 50ing yet another Charlotte player, but Charlotte's pressure is unrelenting. A mistouch coming out from Bala as Knight takes it to the wall, trying to get a redirect but cannot make the read. Hammy popping it up to himself, misses Sap with the shot, but it is weak as Knight lets this one bounce to the ground, stalling his flip, almost getting rewarded for it, but the pressure is not over. Lazy going for a bump, no, going for a boost and gets it. Charlotte has all of the pressure in this last minute of the game. Let's see if they can keep it on or if Florida can get their way back into game number 1.
I mean, could be a very big matchup for Florida, both in NECC and in terms of the rankings. Beating Charlotte here might give them an opportunity to be pushed up into the top 48 category for the colleague polls, as Charlotte coming in at that 47th position in the top 48, maybe low, but it definitely does not represent their skill, as right now they have been a dominating team in a lot of leagues they have played in, both in CRL. But Florida trying to find a response with 15 seconds left. Hammy Crackers, full tank of boost. Tries to get one, gets it over 1. Trying to look for the second, gets the bump. Tries to do it himself. A shot opportunity. Sap drops it down, equalizes the game with 4 seconds left. Charlotte gives up a goal. Buckles with a great play from Hammy Crackers. Great heads-up opportunity. Gets the dribble, gets the bump, and sets up his teammate for success. That's what we like to see in Rocket League.
Yeah, this is what I was saying that Florida was going to need. Hammy taking it over 2 defenders and getting a bump on the 3rd, leading to the goal. And this could be the difference maker right here as Bala pops it over to the corner. Gets a double by 2, but Larry, keep it up. Harry trying to pass this one down. Hammy, as it hits the ground, and we go to overtime. 3-3, Charlotte and Florida in game number 1 as this ball goes tonight. Larry bumps him off the ball as Sap takes control of it. Lazy off the ceiling. Knight and Lazy both go for it. By Balla. Larry is there, but fakes it out in order to go for the boost. The pressure that Florida has been finding in this last minute is dissecting this Charlotte team, but Knight able to get a 50 ball, get it around another, but it could be a passing play, could be a bump, could be either. Hammy with the shot and the goal! Florida able to take this one in overtime. Hammy going for the bump, gets 50'd out by Larry, and Hammy beats Knight barely back to the ball with a screamer into the top left corner. Florida able to claw their way back into game number one and take this game number one to take a 1-0 series lead.
I mean, that is what you want to see if you were a Gators fan. I mean, that's just a great opportunity. Charlotte absolutely collapsed on the last, honestly, 30 seconds, leaving it into an overtime and then buckling under the pressure from the Florida Gators. As, I mean, the passing lanes are opening up for them. They are playing it through each other, getting great opportunities, looking for bumps and demos that make them awkward, and it's just going in the favor of the Gators right now. Everything's playing into their hands. And right now, if they can keep that up, I can foresee this going into a Game 7, but mistakes like that could be crucial as Charlotte gets an early lead, only 5 seconds in, and now Charlotte has a little bit of a cushion.
Yeah, Charlotte getting their first goal in 5 seconds. Lazy sees the mistake out by Larry and capitalizes on it immediately. That's the Charlotte that we're used to seeing and what got them the lead in game number one. But Florida, as we know and as we saw, able to respond brilliantly. Hammy over one, using all the boosts in his tank to get the reset off the inside post. Knight gets beat out, but Larry sent this one off the bar. Lazy able to get this one off the ceiling back to himself. Flips out of the way so Balla can take over. Balla and Sap in behind him. Hammy pops this one out, but all three Florida players in the same spot. Knight takes this one high, goes low. Larry able to bail this one out, but a lot of bumps on the back line for the Florida players. The pace Charlotte is playing at is confusing the ball off the post. Knight with the shot and the goal, sending Charlotte up 2-0 in game number 2.
I mean, you know, Charlotte may be up 2-0 pretty early on in this one, but we did see it before last game. Charlotte took a pretty strong lead and then buckled under the Gators' pressure, so don't get your hopes up if you're a Charlotte's player. The Gators could very well still be in this game as Lazy looks for a touch off the side wall, can't connect on it as Larry gets a pass out for Sap to get a huge clear down the field. And now the Charlotte maintaining possession, but no boost in the tank. But a bump comes out from Hammy, a team bump on from Sap as Knight gets a free opportunity. And now Charlotte will lead 3-0.
Wow. Charlotte doing what Florida did at the end of game one. Look how scrambled these Florida defenders look. They're jumping over one another, hitting one another, landing on one another. Knight just comes in calm, cool, and collected, scoops it up, and puts them up 3-0 within 1 minute of the game starting. Balla getting bumped into this one and still doing work. Lazy trying to go for it, but gets bumped for his efforts. Nice with the misread, but Balla is back to bail them out of that one. Pressure is on Florida, passing it out over to Hammy. Hammy over one, but a great bump by Lazy onto Hammy, stopping this play in its tracks. Sap with the 50 on Balla, and Knight beating out Larry in the follow-up. This could be the play Florida needs. A team pinch. A little bit of an assist from the Charlotte defender, sending this one 74 miles an hour into their own net. Sap and Balla on this one. Lazy not able to get to that one. Perfect placement, bringing Florida within 2 in game number 2.
I mean, if you're not going to be able to get it past them, you might as well use them to try and get those opportunities. As we saw right there, a pinch down the field brings Florida back into this game as Knight tries to control it, goes for the fake off the backboard touch. Lazy trying to get it past midfield, doesn't get the touch he's looking for as Larry is there to control it. Balla looks for one more, gets it past midfield. Both Florida Gator players on the back post wall, able to shut that one down, as it looks like Charlotte's going for a signature touch off the backboard as a drop down from Balla to Lazy. And now Charlotte extends the lead back to 3. One thing Charlotte has always been very keen on is that backboard presence and utilizing it for all kinds of passing opportunities.
Yeah, that pass from Balla was unreal. Lazy with an easy shot on that one, putting them up 4-1. Like you said, this kickoff goes in favor of Charlotte. Balla with a fake out, but Sap is wise to it and able to get back to it. Lazy to Larry. Get this pressure on for the Florida team. Hammy popping this one up, but a little too far away. Balla will send this one screaming and careening back into the Florida half. Larry freaking out a little bit in the corner just by Lazy's presence, and almost a goal. May have been a little bit of a save from Lazy. Balla able to try to put that one in, but the pressure is still there for Charlotte. Balla and Knight going at the same time. Lazy is back. Balla going again. Sap over one. Down to Hammy with the shot. Lazy in the air. What a brilliant save. And now the counterattack is on. Knight past one and gets the goal, making the scoreline 5-1 in favor of the 49ers.
Charlotte looking like a different breed right now coming into game number 2, extending their lead one after another, and some minor mistakes really leaving open gaps for Charlotte to take advantage from the Gators side. They got to find a way to clean up those mistakes. Honestly, if that clock starts ticking down and you can't find a way in, just start thinking, go next, find a gap, try experimenting, trying to see what you can do to adjust. As this one's 50'd out in the neutral zone, Larry taking control, 40 boost in the tank, 50s this one out to his own or his opponent's corner for Hammy Crackers. Gets a drop down the sap, a scoring opportunity, a bump attempt from Larry, does not connect as a Lazy pops this one out to Knight, but a 50 from Hammy Crackers as he's there to shut that one down, but a missed touch from Sap creates an opportunity, an awkward position as Larry's able to get the touch out to Hammy, and now Crackers and Larry looking for the 1-2-1, a shot opportunity as that one sneaks by, and the Gators could be back in this one, bringing it to a 3-goal lead with 1:35 left. A beautiful play from the Gators, having the 1-2-1 passing play. Balla not ready for it, thinking his teammate got the touch. The Gators are back in it.
Yeah, and a beautiful play to get back into this one as well. We've seen crazier series go the distance, crazier games go the distance. Tonight, even 3-goal leads are not safe, especially with this much time on the clock. Knight doing well to waste some of that time, though, as trying to pin Florida into their own half yet again, but Larry does well to get out. Flip reset on the ball, passing over, but Balla is there to read it. Hammy gets the boost for the effort, though. Knight trying to get to that ball, and Sap beats him out to it. Sap tries to pop over Lazy, but he does well to read it. Hammy with the pass back, but Balla says, no, thank you, no passing back on my watch. But Lazy gets beat out by Hammy. Balla last back, trying to get demoed by Larry. Knight trying to get the pass out and block it, but Hammy tries to get it by. Balla does well to get it by another defender. Knight with a shot, but Larry does well to stay back post and make that read. Back and forth we go in this game number 2. Hammy to Larry, but Lazy does well to block this one out. Balla sending this one up. This could be a goal, but Knight elects to drop this one to the ground, wasting a little bit more time. Balla passing to Sap yet again. The dream duo in this game number 2, but it does not work out for Florida. Florida has to score right now, and unless they do, I think this game is over. Lazy wasting even more time on the clock, popping this one to the corner and back out. Back down, but it seems this one is over. Florida will get one for the road with 4 seconds remaining, making it 5-3, a better scoreline, but this game was dominant from the side of UNC Charlotte.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the Gators just haven't been able to find that chink in the Charlotte Niner armor and have really just kind of been on their heel the entire game. Charlotte has dominated most of this match. They've really showcased the control and the possession that they can maintain. But really, it's coming down to the Gators' missed touches. There's been a lot of missed opportunities, a lot of missed touches that kind of just set up Charlotte for success. But if the Gators are able to clean that up and kind of showcase a little bit of more improvement into game number 3, I think they're going to be able to turn this one around. They definitely have the opportunities and the skill level and the mechanical ability to create those opportunities. You just got to find ways to capitalize, as Charlotte was very quick to adjust to those passing lanes. So maybe it's time to get a little mechy and try and make a play happen. Be a playmaker. Try and make something happen for your team. Set up your team for success, and then really just see about ways to maybe get some demos. Create some opportunities, as we saw in the earlier on with Hammy setting up Sap for that first goal.
I agree. And I want to commend both of these teams real quickly, as both teams in that game number 2 had 100% goal participation. They had an assist on every single shot. Both teams, this series has been beautiful so far, and I hope it continues. I think as Knight and Ball go over the same ball, I think that team play and communication are going to be the big things, the big difference makers for both of these teams. The aggression, like you said, I think is a beautiful shout out. I think bumps like we just saw on the Florida backline are going to be the difference makers. I think whichever team decides to be more aggressive and is able to get more effective bumps is going to be the team that walks away with the win today. Hammy keeping the pressure on in the blue corner. Knight and Larry with a 50-50. Lazy and Balla both going for the same ball. Knight passing this one back, getting it to Lazy, who gets a full thing of boost. Popping it over one, going for a bump, and Hammy has that one red. Larry popping this one by 60 boost in the tank. Let's see what you can do with it. Nothing, as it is stuffed by Balla in the blue corner. Lazy keeping this one close. Sap with a great 50, and his Hammy is beat out by Knight, but Knight gets demoed for his efforts. Passing play, Larry to Hammy. Hammy with a beautiful flick over the last back defender for Charlotte, making this back and forth series even more back and forth as Florida goes up 1-0 1 minute into game number 3.
I mean, it's exactly what we talked about in that post-game screen. The physicality came out from Florida, and it created an opportunity, a little bit of an overcommit from Balla, leaving his teammate in a 1v2 situation as Larry just left it for Hammy to take full control. They went and trying to make the last defender super awkward, and that's exactly what we were talking about. Bumps and demos, physicality, even if you don't connect on it, the pure threat of it is enough to make a team very awkward, as this one is a great air dribble from Lazy, shut down by Hammy Crackers on the goal line as this pinch fires out and gives the Florida Gators a little bit of time to compose themselves. But a missed touch there as Knight tries to sneak it in off that left side post. And now Charlotte trying to maintain possession, but a pinch comes out from Lazy, giving it right back to the Gators. And now the Gators trying to get one of their own, forces it over to Balla to take control, gets the reset. A shot attempt from Knight blocked away by Sap. And the Gators on the counterattack in a 3v1 situation pops up as Hammy not able to put it on target as the bump comes out, as that one bounces off the right side post as well. But now the Florida Gators are still in this game with the physicality showcasing on every aspect as the shots are coming out. As this one pinched down the field, and Charlotte gets us a crazy pinch, equalizing this game to a 1-1 series or game.
That was a beautiful pinch from Balla and Knight. Holy schmoly, that is what you need to get back into this game number 3. Hammy has been stepping it up for the Gators, and I think I'm going to have to call on Balla, as I have done so many times for this Charlotte squad, beating out one, getting it over to Lazy in the corner. Lazy passing this one to Knight. Knight with the shot and the goal. Beautiful passing play from UNC Charlotte as they take a quick 2-1 lead. 2 explosive plays, 1 pinch, 1-1-2-3 passing play. Beautiful team plays from the Charlotte boys, making this game 2-1 in favor of the 49ers.
Right now, the Charlotte is just looking very strong with those passing opportunities, those passing lanes, but a double commit comes out off the ceiling. Lazy looking for a pinch, does not get it, leaves it for Balla, as Balla's there for a quick shot, saved away by Sap, but plenty of space. Balla with a full tank, able to try and make something happen here as he gets a pass over Sap, but Hammy there to shut it down, but an easy catch for Lazy as he's able to take control of this one, gets the fake, but Larry manages to get a touch, but a pass back that could be dangerous, but Knight able to control it as a 50 comes out on the sidewall as Knight beats it past after getting the demo. Now a free ball for Balla to try and take control, but a missed jump off the ceiling doesn't work for them as now Hammy at 50 out, but Lazy leaves this one there to try and slow down the pace, leaves it for Balla but doesn't get the touch, but Balla there to get the expert save as Knight clears this one out to his corner. Charlotte on the defensive, Florida trying to find a way as they slowly pepper the net, but Charlotte with a ceiling pinch as this one sneaks in, and Charlotte might be peaking this game.
Peaking is an understatement. They have gone to the tip of Mount Everest 15 times so far in this game. Balla is taking over. I said that I'm so used to calling on Balla, and here I go again with a beautiful ceiling pinch. absolutely screaming it by the last back defender. Almost no one, not even the number 4 ranked team in the NECC, is ready for a play like that as a side flip comes out from Lazy, bringing Florida back into this game. A little bit of trolling on the side of Charlotte. I don't think that's one that they're going to have to worry about too much. But I say that, and there's a minute and 22 seconds left in game number 3. Florida has made comebacks bigger than this before and could do it again unless Charlotte locks in a weird kickoff from Balla, but it works out in his favor. Larry, full boost, trying to get it over Knight, but Knight does well to pop this into the corner for Lazy. Lazy following up on his initial touch, speeding out Sap. Hammy has this one red. Larry, not enough boost in the tank. Balla takes the mid boost for it. Larry popping this one up, could be the play, but Knight able to pop this one into the corner, waiting for Balla. Balla with a beautiful double touch. Knight following up yet again. Balla free flipping. Lazy should be up for this one and is 50-50 coming out from Hammy and Lazy in the midfield. Both midfield presences for these teams look phenomenal in the waning seconds of this game number 3. Sap able to take this one over to the wall. Knight scrambling, low boost, should challenge. A lot of pressure coming out for this Florida team. Pass out, but Larry isn't there for it. There was a passing lane available, and that is when you need to send the house when you are down 1 goal. 30 seconds left. Hammy taking it off of his own back wall. Knight forcing for Lazy. Does well to get the mid boost as well. Larry popping this over Balla. Lazy with last back. Sap pushes up a little bit too far to do anything effective with that touch. Hammy making it an awkward touch over this. Knight popping this one out. Larry, wow, Lazy should do well to control this and waste the precious seconds on that clock. This is a dangerous position. If you are Charlotte, it floats in front of the net, and the 49ers hold on, able to take game number 3 and go up 2-1 in the series against Florida.
That has got to be a devastating opportunity missed by the Gators there, as that one, it just dribbles right in front of it with the clock dwindling down. No one there to save it, but no one there to put it in the back of the net. Devastating loss for Florida, but I'm curious to see if they're going to be able to bounce back in the next match and really try and find the solution that they need to find. As right now, Charlotte, they're taking that Gator on a walk. All right, they're walking it. They came down to Florida and they are here. They strapped it up on a leash and they are walking down the sidewalk with it right now. Florida's putting up a little bit of a fight, but right now Charlotte, they're just kind of peaking. They had ceiling pinches, team pinches. They're getting all kinds of opportunities that are just working out for them. Some might say it's luck. Some might say it's Charlotte experimenting, because Charlotte is definitely doing what I have seen Charlotte always do. They utilize each other to the best of their ability, and they really showcase what true fundamental Rocket League should look like, as they just continue on every single aspect of it to take advantage of one another.
I completely agree, and it has led to such great success. Balla able to take time on the ball, time enough for him, but it was not time for the Florida defense, peaking with a team pinch and a ceiling pinch. Balla coming out big in that game number 3, and I think is going to be the difference maker for this Charlotte squad in this series. I think if Knight and Lazy play as consistently as they have been, playing with as little mistakes as they have been, Balla will be the one to take over and bring them and this series home to the 49ers. I think on the other side of the ball, Hammy is the one that needs to step up. He has been, right? He's been making beautiful plays, having an unassisted goal in game number 3. But I think Larry and Sap just need to make less mistakes than Lazy and Knight. I think that's what it's going to come down to, because we have seen peaks from both of these teams so far, and I imagine we will continue to see them. But right now, all of the pressure is on for Charlotte, as Larry pops this one out over to Hammy and buys a little bit of time for his team.
I mean, right now, the Gators are looking strong, controlling it in the neutral zone, as Hammy Cracker sneaks that one by all 3, as this one gives Gators the 1-goal lead in under a minute here. A great play from Hammy, and honestly, a great play from Sap there to help force it in as he gets the assist, and now the Gators are up 1-0. Could this be the response that the Gators needed? We shall see, because right now, Charlotte, they have still been looking very hot. A lot of opportunities that they can take advantage of, as a fake out comes against Hammy Crackers, but Larry there to control it with enough boost in the tank, but a bump on the sidewall. Balla with a beautiful pass back, but Larry there to take control. A demo out on Lazy gives some opportunity, but Knight with a beautiful read off the backboard. Sap there to shut it down, as now it looks like the Florida Gators might have a quick counterattack, but a mistake from Hammy Crackers kills all that momentum, as now Florida is forced right back into that Charlotte lock that we all know and love, as Charlotte tries to get this one going, as Knight maintains position with a 50 out of the midfield. Drop back by Bala, a shot opportunity, and a Lazy there to put it on target. Larry there to get the save. Charlotte looking ever so strong on that offensive lock right now.
They are, but Florida has done well to keep the ball out of their own net. Saw a bump play, 1-2-3 bump play, and it goes right back in Charlotte's direction. This is how Florida scored their first goal in this game. Charlotte has all the pressure, but Florida, with nerves of steel, able to keep it out. Double commit on this one. Lazy does well to play for ball up. Even though they double commit, they played for one another and are able to bail themselves out of it. Hammy does well. Demoed last man by Larry, but Sap sends it off the post. That should have been a 2-0 lead for Florida, but Charlotte is able to recover, and we have seen them recover with a quick counterattack many times before. Florida able to keep this one to a minimum. The Sap able to get to midfield to keep that pressure on. Lazy and Larry meeting yet again. Knight passing this one over to Lazy. Redirect down, but Hammy is there to make the save. Balla passing it out to Knight. Knight wave dashing in the midfield to stop his momentum and go again. And does. Larry against Knight in the corner right now, and Knight able to pop this one out. Balla in the air, trying to get it past Hammy, but Hammy does well to keep it out. Balla able to steal their back boost as this Charlotte pressure continues, but the Florida wall will not crack. Hammy able to send this one out and buy his team even more time. Beautiful defensive stand from the Florida Gators.
Right now, Florida is showing a defensive masterclass with all kinds of great touches in possession here, maintaining every opportunity as one flick over from Hammy, a shot but blocked away from Balla, and now Charlotte on the offensive once again as a shot comes out from Lazy, but a great touch from Hammy, but a 50 out and a shot opportunity here, but Larry there to shut it down as a demo comes out from Knight, creating an opportunity, but Sap not able to respond in the correct way to that back pass from Larry. Balla, no boost in the tank, goes for the reset, can't connect on it. An absolute, I don't even know. I don't even know what to say right there. That was a very, very aggressive play from Charlotte. Lots of bumps came out, a lot of physicality from both teams on the goal line as a shot comes out off the ceiling once again. Florida won't fall for it this time. It's Hammy Cracker there to get the save. And right now, Charlotte is just showcasing what they can do, peppering that backboard. And honestly, right now, I think that's one thing Florida has been kind of missing out is that backboard control. There's been a lot of opportunities where Charlotte's just kind of taken advantage of it. You may be there to get a good clear, but you got to find a way to maintain possession and get a great touch. As one comes out here, a 50 against Knight. As this one could be a dribbler in, but Balla gets it back in time as that clock is ticking down. Charlotte needs to find a response as Florida might be equalizing this series.
Yeah, I think Florida, as much as you're giving compliments to Charlotte, and they deserve that compliment for their back being able to get to the backboard, hit the ball in awkward situations. It's not forcing a Florida defender out. And at the end of the day, that scoreline at the top remains 1-0. Not if Charlotte have anything to say about it. Balla to Lazy. Lazy whiffs on it. Hammy keeping it close, popping it over to Sap, beating this one out. It is up in the corner, though. We have seen Charlotte do the 0-second drill time and time again. Knight tries to get it around, but Larry able to slam this one to the ground, making it 2-2 in this series. Charlotte, I think, had all. Oh,
no, go ahead. It's fine. I'll just shut my mouth. It's okay.
Yeah, that's right. Come on now. I was done. Or no, I'm not. Wow. Now you have me flustered, Nate. You just worked
It's okay. It's all right. This is a casual Nate Dogg stream here. All right.
Yeah, what I was trying to say is I think Knight, Balla, and Lazy did a great job of peppering that backboard, but didn't do enough, didn't get a demo, didn't do something to force Florida to make a mistake. And because of that, even though they had all that pressure, it ultimately didn't matter. I think if Florida tries to play like that, to your point, for the rest of this series, it won't go well for them. But in that game, 1-0 is the end scoreline, and I think that is what matters most. I'm looking for a little more creativity from Charlotte and Florida. I'm looking for you to be able to cover your backboard just a little bit better.
A 50. Fires out here. A shot opportunity blocked away by Larry. And right now, Florida looking strong as they're able to stay off the Charlotte offensive onslaught here off the kickoff. As this one fires up into the midfield, into the air as Knight there to get the 50 on Larry. Shot opportunity as Knight gets a great touch, but Lazy not able to capitalize as this one's 50'd off the Gator back wall. Bala there to control it. A beat from Sap here sets up his team for success as this one's an awkward pass from Hammy Crackers, but down to Larry to control it with no pressure from Charlotte, but a mistouch from Larry there gives an opportunity for the Niners to take control. Hammy with a pop down mid. Knight there to get the 50, drops it down, and now Charlotte not able to capitalize, and the Gators get a little bit of a lifeline here to try and get a quick counterattack of their own. Hammy Crackers drops it down off that left side post, but Sap there to get the 50, and Larry there to take control, but Bala there to shut it down quickly. Charlotte there to get a quick counter, but Hammy with a beautiful touch there to get a quick shut down against that threat for his team. But Charlotte once again back to trying to get an easy goal. A backboard touch from Lazy doesn't get the angle he was looking for, and now Charlotte forced back into the defensive half, and right now this game is going very back and forth. Lots of ping pong ball as both these teams with the expert precision and control really showcasing what they can do and trying to find a way to break through that defensive line.
I agree. And I think this goes into Charlotte's gameplay. I've seen Charlotte have super close games, but I've also seen them have games where they score 8 goals and their opponents score 5. They're so confident in that offense. They don't mind ping-pong games. They don't mind trying to get their necks warmed up. But I think against a team like Florida, that is a lot scarier to do. Hammy taking it into the corner, popping it over past Lazy and down and in. A little assist from Lazy, but what a defensive stand from Knight and Bala. Knight faking this one out. Hammy having to make a last-second readjustment and does well. Bala keeping this on the backboard. That pressure you talked about earlier, so dangerous, but is dealt with well. Knight popping this one up past Hammy Crackers, forcing him to use almost a full tank of boost as Bala 50s out the defender, and Sap whiffs on that one. A crucial mistake, keeping the pressure on for UNC Charlotte. Bala putting this one back down to Knight, but Larry passes this one out to Hammy, but Lazy with a beautiful contest in the midfield. Knight to Lazy, redirect shot, bang! This is the Charlotte offense that we expect. This is what we are so used to. We don't mind if we don't play that much defense because we are going to put an absolute screamer on net. Knight and Lazy syncing up, putting Charlotte up 1-0 in game number 5.
That is definitely what Charlotte might need to give themselves a little bit more confidence and destroy the Gators' confidence just a little bit, as a scoring opportunity could arise from here as a bump comes out. Bala gets there in time. A beautiful save as Hammy Crackers tries to sink in the equalizer. Sap there to put it back. Now Charlotte forced into an awkward defensive stance, but Lazy there to capitalize on it. Passing it downfield to Knight. Looks for the redirect off the touch. Doesn't connect with it. And right now, Charlotte trying to find a way to break through again on the Florida Gators, but the Gators staying strong. Right now, the Gators need to find a way to capitalize on those missed opportunities that we have seen time and time again. Off the left side post, off the crossbar, off that right side post. And that has been the story of the Gators so far this series. They need to find a way to clean that one up, as those opportunities could be the deal breakers here for their chance to beat Charlotte, as it now Bala goes off that side wall, doesn't get the shot on target, but Knight there to put it right back into control. Looks for the read, doesn't connect on it, but Lazy with a beautiful control gets 50'd out by Sap, and a shot opportunity as Hammy Crackers there to put it down to equalize this game.
Yeah, I don't know if that was the touch that Lazy needed, or if he did have that touch, needed to reposition. I think he was expecting Hammy to go for that 50-50, and Sap came in from the midfield, forcing that one over the left side, popping out middle for Hammy to make a beautiful shot, tying up this game. The pressure that Charlotte is able to have and the pressure that Florida is able to have has been so back and forth. Post woes are coming out for both teams. These are the mistakes that just need to be tightened up a little bit. Both teams still in this one, no. Balla trying to put it over and do it himself, but Larry able to pop this one out. Knight with the follow-up shot and putting Charlotte back up just like that. 27 seconds between goals. That's including game time, and that is including the time watched in replays. Charlotte striking quickly and ferociously, willing to put this one to a shootout, trusting themselves and their teammates and their offensive pressure. This one goes up the sidewall. Larry trying to get Florida back into this one, fakes one out, but it goes right to Balla, the man with the plan, the guy you want to see on the ball if you are a fan of the 49ers. Larry fakes this one out, but Lazy reads Hammy's shot well. Balla and Knight both go, but they do not use much boost in the process. Balla beating out 2 off that double commit as Knight goes for Hammy. Hammy popping it up to himself. Lazy reading this one to the back wall and able to make that read, leaving it out for Balla. 10 seconds left in this game as a shot comes out, but Knight is able to put this one away. Balla to Knight with a quick 1-2 pass, wasting even more precious seconds. Florida, let's see what you can do with 0 seconds on the clock. Not much if Knight is on the ball, puts that one to the ground and giving Charlotte a 3-2 lead in the series as we head to game number 6.
Now, in the words of Mamacita, the Gators are going to have to really giddy up here as they have to win the next 2 games in a row. And right now, with the way Charlotte is playing, that's going to be a very tall feat. But the Gators, they have a chance. They've shown a lot of potential in this match as they've had, I mean, give it to Hammy Crackers. Give it to him, bro. I mean, clear the path. Give it to Hammy. As long as you can clear the path and not let him get shut down, I think the Gators have a very strong chance here. There's definitely been a few missed opportunities on Sap's side, so if he's able to clean up those touches and get better opportunities and more shots in the net versus just a slightly off target, I think the Gators are very much in this game. They have the skill. They have the ability. They just got to find a way to capitalize and not buckle under that. As here we are jumping into match point for UNC Charlotte, now in game 6. This one is fired out to the Niners side as Knight is able to take advantage. Fires this one across the field as Balla gets a touch out, but no boost in the tank on the Niners half. Both of these players in awkwards, but a touch right to Lazy as a missed scoring opportunity. A bump comes out, removing that player. The double bump comes out, but Larry gets there in time as it now Hammy Crackers gets it past Knight. And a team bump on the Gators half. Things looking awkward as this one's a wide open net. And a Knight is there to put it in. The Gators have buckled with all the accidental team hits and awkwardness on their goal line.
That pressure that Charlotte brings out early in games is showing itself yet again. Charlotte taking the early 1-0 lead. We have seen Florida come back from it. Their pressure is gradual. It builds over time. Charlotte's strikes hot like a knife through butter, never knowing when it will come, but knowing that it is always there. Larry with the pressure in the corner, pass over, Lazy able to 50 out, Sap and Balla able to get a 50 of his own. Hammy Crackers faking it and able to get it back to his team, but the UNC Charlotte pressure is building and building as we see the players go for one another. A missed opportunity out from Hammy Crackers, but a contested one at that, as Balla able to save this one out. Pressure still on for Florida. Hammy out to Sap. Demo from Larry on to Knight, but a fake out by Larry, unsuccessful for Florida as this one is careened down into the Florida half. Knight looking for a demo, but Sap wise to it, goes early. Balla going early, double 2 players in the same position for University of Florida as Balla goes over one, but Hammy has the read. Back and forth this series has been, and it continues in game number 6.
Right now, it looks like Florida is definitely struggling with a little bit of panic on their half as they're down 1-0 with 3:20 left. There's been a lot of double commits and a lot of opportunities that have just kind of been given up because both players committing for the same touch. As Larry with a 360 no-scope looking for the pass, it does not connect on it. As this one is 50'd out, a double commit once again from the Gators, and Charlotte will extend their lead to 2-0 with 3:05 left on the clock. An unfortunate situation. Once again, the Gators making that crucial mistake on that second and third man position for Charlotte to take full advantage of.
Yeah, Charlotte, the pressure they have built throughout this series is causing Florida to panic. We saw it in their first goal, and we saw it yet again in their second goal as Lazy goes for a third, but Hammy Crackers man of the match for Florida, able to 50 both players as Knight has a skim over, but Sapp able to pop this one to safety. I think that UNC Charlotte's pressure has been causing a lot of issues for Florida. I said it back in an earlier game where Florida won 1-0, but I said that they could not hold that pressure forever. Charlotte has done a beautiful job containing the pressure from Florida and is totally okay with a shootout because with defensive stands like that, it will remain in Charlotte's favor. Lazy and Knight coming up big last game as well. They are being the better duo aside from the star player. Bala and Hammy are those players in my mind, and Lazy and Knight have been the better duo, syncing up for a redirect and being the difference maker in this series. Sapp able to take this one low, beating out Bala. Demo from Lazy onto Sapp, buying his team a little more time. Knight and Larry going for the same ball. Bala going for it as well and popping it up. Holding his flip to the last second, but Hammy able to grab that mid boost, and that is all he wanted. Bala going for that back boost on Florida's side and not getting what he wanted. The Florida pressure is starting to build, and here it comes. But another double commit could be super consequential, but a great interference play by Hammy should slow this counterattack down. Charlotte looking ever so threatening. Florida begging to get back on the scoreboard.
Right now, Charlotte has just been looking like a dominating beast on the field. I've seen the most physicality coming out of them than I've ever seen before. They're getting very physical with the bumps and demos, making Florida panic, making for those awkward touches as Lazy tries to get one right there. Doesn't connect. There's a scoring opportunity here, but not on target. No boost in the tank, not able to get there in time. The Gators struggling to get on the board. Hammy with a beautiful shot with a pass from Larry, blocked away by Lazy, as this one will be 50'd out from Lazy off the ceiling, and the Gators are right back in the neutral zone as a double commit comes out from Charlotte, but gets the good touch here off to his corner, giving his team some time. A pass to Lazy, a shot opportunity, top left bends as this one just can't get in the net, and Charlotte stays alive with their 2-0 lead. Gators, that could be a soul-crushing shot right there, as that one should have brought it to a 1-goal lead, and with 30 seconds left, that could be the nail in the coffin as another double commit from the Gators comes out, and things are just falling apart for them on the goal lines.
Yeah, what a beautiful defensive stand from UNC Charlotte. Lazy with the recovery, a double commit, but recovery on the inside of the net, able to pop that one out and away. Sapp needs to score now. The Florida Gators need to put one in, but all three of the 49ers are on that one, pushing it away. This game is all but over as another one could potentially go in, but Larry says no, not that it matters. 0 seconds on the clock. No matter if anyone scores, this series is UNC Charlotte's. And just like I said before the match, my prediction rings true. South Carolina took it 4-2. I thought Charlotte would do it as well, and sure enough, they do. Knight and Lazy, a beautiful dynamic duo, doing wonders on the pitch for their team, and Bala doing the same by himself. An explosive series on offense for Charlotte, but that is something that I'm sure you and I are totally used to after casting them in C3. Florida has me excited, though. I wish that they were able to get something out to Hammy a little more often, but I think they have something to hang their hat on at the end of the day. They took Charlotte to game 6 and eventually lost, but there were some close games in there. They were able to figure out how to contain that Charlotte pressure, but that pressure keeps on coming. And if you try to contain it, it's like a pressure cooker, and eventually it will pop. The defensive stands from UNC Charlotte, the offensive pressure, they look like the complete package in this series and deserved that series win.
Yeah, I definitely want to say that I'm not surprised. I've seen my Charlotte boys play for a very long time. They are been the dominant team in the Carolinas for about 3 semesters now, and they've been a consistent powerhouse in the nation. They may be lower on the end of the 48 poll, but I think they definitely deserve to be more a little bit higher than that, maybe in the 30th range, 30s. But they've just consistently proven themselves to be a powerhouse of a team. Now, that does not mean any type of hate or discourage to the Gators. I mean, they were a very strong team. They put Charlotte on their back heels for a good chunk. It was just a lack of converting on opportunities. If they were able to convert on opportunities there, that game could have gone a very different way, and honestly, the series could have gone a very different way. As I think what Charlotte's game plan was, I think they just started shutting down Hammy Crackers. I think they just gave him no space to make a play, not to do anything. As Hammy was very easily the strongest player on that Gators roster tonight, and once they shut him down, the mistakes from Sapp and Larry just kind of started buckling, and those opportunities Charlotte just took over. So overall, Charlotte just proved themselves to be an overall better team tonight, but Gators, they got a lot of potential. If they can just clean up those mistakes, they could very easily make a run and turn that series around.
I agree. And I'll say one more thing before I sign off myself for the night. I think that, like you were saying, Florida just needed to tighten up a little bit. We saw early in the series post woes for both teams. But Charlotte was able to tighten up and tighten up quickly. And even in the later half of the series, Florida kept pinging them off the post, and they had the opportunities. They just were a pixel or two off. And that has got to be frustrating. You know, it was close. It was a hard fought series. It was just mistakes that if you flip a half second earlier, excuse me, like a tenth of a second, it's not even by a half of a second. It's like if you flip a tenth of a second later or a tenth of a second earlier, that's in their net. Um, Unfortunate way to lose this series. I think with those missed opportunities, we would have got a game seven. But Charlotte showing, like you said, what they do, and they deserve to be a little bit higher in that top 48. They were consistent, they were powerful, they had that offensive pressure that we have seen and have grown to know them for. It Yeah, it was a beauty to watch. Congratulations to both South Carolina and to UNC Charlotte, both of the C3 teams. So I'm proud of the boys for pulling out their victories. ERAU and Florida, a lot to be happy about and a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, absolutely. As a quick shout out to Knight here, who's already playing Dispatch. Um, game ended, bro's already in a different game. Gonna throw him under the bus there for that one. But nonetheless, it was a great night for NECC Division II play. USC and UNC Charlotte, both Carolina universities, come out on top tonight to shoot themselves into potentially a first and second seed once the standings are confirmed. Match up next week. So hopefully, if the schedule aligns and they reschedule to a day that's not on CRL, I will be here back again to stream that match. Hopefully, Colson will be here to join me as well. If he doesn't want to join, I'll completely take it personally. But no big deal there. I will see you all next week when we come back and try and stream more games. So till then, you all have a great night.
Bye-bye.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah.